Peppa's world is filled with mysterious characters. And when we say mysterious, most of you probably think about someone like Madame Gazelle or Mr. Fox, but no. Today we're going to talk about completely different characters. These are the characters that make us wonder, why are they like that? Or, what's their deal? We'll talk about why they're a bit strange and what makes them a mystery in Peppa's world. So, let's explore this mysterious side of Peppa Pig. Now let's start with Miss Crocodile. What makes her so mysterious is that she's the only animal who talks, but isn't a mammal in the whole show. Think about it. All the other talking animals are things like pigs, rabbits, and bears. Then there's Miss Crocodile, a reptile among them. And strangely, she works at the zoo, which doesn't make much sense considering she's a carnivore. And also, her actions often make you wonder if she has some hidden intentions. Remember, when she looked at Madame Gazelle during feeding time? That look wasn't just normal. Was it a funny joke because she's a crocodile? Or is there something a bit wild about her? And so far, we don't know anything else about Miss Crocodile. We see she's good at looking after zoo animals, so she must know a lot. How did a crocodile become a zookeeper in Peppa's town, where almost everyone is a warm-blooded animal? Does being the only reptile make her different from the others? What's her story? These questions make her a mystery. While we learn things about other characters, Miss Crocodile remains a puzzle. A surprising reptile in Peppa's world, being the only one of her kind who talks, and those little hints of a wild side definitely make her a mysterious character in Peppa Pig. Living in his lighthouse, Grampy Rabbit is certainly a mysterious character. We know his name is Reggie, which we found out in the episode Z Treasure. It's odd because we don't usually learn the first names of grown-ups. Unlike other rabbits who love carrots, Reggie really loves cheese. He often spends time in his junkyard, taking old things and making new ones. You wonder what he's making and where he gets his ideas. Living alone in his lighthouse by the sea, Reggie seems like he has a lot of stories we don't know, and he definitely has some unique interests. One character who is truly mysterious is the young cow who appears in Mr. Potato's Christmas show. She's seen in the audience watching Mr. Potato's show along with the other kids, and that brief appearance was enough to spark theories about her origins. Though her real name is unknown, the Peppa Pig fandom calls her Carol. The most popular theory is that she's Mrs. Cow's niece. Others believe she could be Mr. Bull's daughter from a previous relationship before he married Mrs. Cow. However, the first theory makes more sense, as Mr. Bull has never mentioned having a daughter, which is strange considering that's a pretty important detail. He has appeared in many episodes, so if he had a daughter, he probably would have mentioned her at some point. So, who could Carol be? Mr. Bull's daughter or Mrs. Cow's niece? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Peppa has been to different countries. One cool trip was to Italy. There, she met a strange police officer. This officer showed up many times when Peppa's family was in Italy. It was because Peppa kept losing her toy, Teddy. Every time Teddy was lost, the policeman found him and gave him back. It was weird because we don't know how he found Teddy each time. Also, he always knew where Peppa's family was. Another odd thing is that the policeman spoke perfect English. This makes some people think he might not really be from Italy. Some even wonder if he's related to Captain Otter because they look alike. Another odd person in Italy was Mr. Deer, who wasn't a main character. He sold cars. Daddy Pig rented a car from him when they first got to Italy. That was the most we saw of him. Besides his job, Mr. Deer has a strange thing about him. He's the only one in all of Peppa Pig who can't speak English. The other Italians they met could talk in English, but he couldn't even understand them. This makes it seem like he's never lived in England, and probably doesn't know the main characters. Another mysterious character in Peppa Pig is not a specific character, but an entire species, the hamsters. In the show, we're introduced to Dr. Hamster, who functions very much like a human adult, working as a veterinarian and interacting seamlessly within the community. Yet, in stark contrast, we also see hamsters treated as typical pets, such as Madame Gazelle's pet hamsters. This duality raises some curious questions about Peppa's world. Why are some hamsters seemingly granted a level of intellect like other characters, while others are kept as companions? Is there a specific distinction or evolutionary path that separates these hamsters? This certainly makes the hamsters quite a mysterious species in the world of Peppa Pig. Penny Polar Bear presents a subtle mystery within Peppa's world. She is a minor character who is sometimes present in Peppa's playgroup. We know from Captain Dog's Antarctic adventure that wild polar bears exist in remote, icy regions. This makes Penny's presence in Peppa's town, far from such a habitat, somewhat unusual. How did her family come to live in this mixed animal community? Are they originally from Antarctica? And if so, what led them to relocate? Unlike many other families in Peppa Pig, whose origins and connections within the community are often shown, Penny's family background and their integration into Peppa's town remain largely unexplained, adding a layer of quiet mystery to this seemingly ordinary polar bear child. Now, we all know about Madame Gazelle's mysterious nature and how she could potentially be a vampire. So far, we've talked about multiple clues which hint her being a vampire, like her having no reflection in the mirror, her love towards bats, the mysterious Christmas tree beside her house, and so on. But today, we found a new clue which makes the case of her being a vampire even more solid. Remember the episode, Sun, Sea, and Snow? Everyone in Peppa's town is taking a trip down to the beach, but to their surprise, everything is covered with snow. Now let's break this down. As we can see here, everyone is shivering. Mummy Pig practically turns into an ice sculpture the moment her toe touches the water. But Madame Gazelle, she's swimming in what is clearly freezing cold water. She's not even flinching, she's acting like it's a tropical paradise. Now, what kind of being could possibly be immune to such frigid temperatures? Think about it. Vampires are often depicted as being cold-blooded, literally and figuratively. Perhaps her ancient physiology allows her to withstand temperatures that would send a normal being running for a warm blanket and a cup of hot chocolate. We can clearly see the difference here. Mummy Pig, a normal, warm-blooded mammal, experiences the cold like any reasonable person. But Madame Gazelle, she's gliding through the icy waves like it's nothing? Is she just incredibly hardy? Or is there something otherworldly at play? Now another mystery has to do with Mr. Lion. Now, it's not Mr. Lion's personality that makes him particularly mysterious. He generally comes across as calm and competent, but it's his job that makes him an intriguing character. Just like Miss Crocodile, Mr. Lion is also a zookeeper, but the truly puzzling part about this is, why do Mr. Lion and Miss Crocodile, who are both fully carnivorous animals, work as zookeepers? Giving responsibility for looking after a zoo to two natural predators raises some fascinating unspoken questions about the dynamics and trust within Peppa's community. It certainly makes you wonder about the hiring process at that zoo. Another background character you might spot in the crowd from time to time is Miss Bear, who has never had much focus in the series. She was first seen in the episode Mr. Potato Comes to Town, where she can be seen among the rest of the town residents, eagerly waiting for the arrival of Mr. Potato. You can also find her in the biggest muddy puddle in the world when the entire town gets flooded. And also, Miss Bear is one of the characters hitching a ride on Grandpa Dog's boat. She gets a bit more attention in the episode Once Upon a Time, where we learn that she lives in a cabin in the woods and is the mother of Belinda Bear, as well as the wife of Mr. Bear, not to be confused with Dr. Brown Bear, since one wears glasses and the other doesn't. So, despite these frequent appearances, little is known about this mysterious character. So, these were some of the mysterious characters in Peppa Pig, and as always, we'll see you all in the next video.